Yo, what's up, guys? Got a GrubCast coming at you. It's DeMusliM versus RobbyG 9800. I pretty much do the intro during the main thing, so you don't really need this guy. Let's go to this guy. Yo guys, what's up? And welcome to another GrubCast. The map is Lipany and our players are RobbyG 9800, who's playing as the French, and he's playing into DeMusliM, who is playing as the Rus. I just played against both of them, and I ended up losing to DeMusliM, and I ended up beating RobbyG 9800. You can still see the stats here. RobbyG is ranked 44 on the ladder right now, and DeMusliM is actually ranked 10 right now. So two top 50 players against one another. The map is Lipany. Let's go. Our French player RobbyG 9800 here has opened with 6 on food, the very first 6 villagers he has, sending the 7th to food as well. One of them is now making a house and is then queued up to go make a mining camp. The scouts are of course fighting for the Gaia, the deer on the map, as they offer a gold bounty and a bonus food gathering rate to our Rus player. He's killed one Gaia here and is fighting DeMusliM for another. It was actually a really cool move by Demu, where he attacked a deer, which then allows his opponent Robby to get the second shot and the killing blow. But DeMusliM pushed the deer with his body away, scaring it, as they are skittish creatures, therefore putting him out of range of RobbyG's attempt to get the second hit. So DeMusliM actually managed to double hit before RobbyG could come in and get that second hit, which is definitely a trick that is known, but it's still nice to see it being performed. Alright, we've got 8 on food, 2 on gold. The need for the non-Rus players to contest sheep often leads to a secondary issue where they don't have their scouts bring back sheep on time, and there could be a little gap in sheep gathering. The carcass just got eliminated, and now all 8 swung their little staff in order to call that sheep. And now you've got several idle villagers, even if they don't show up as idle, just because they couldn't get to that carcass as it is against the town center. And that's the downside of putting a sheep adjacent to the town center, is that it is only surroundable by 5 villagers in this formation that I'm showing. And if you have a sheep here, although there is walking distance for your villagers, as you can see, at the very least it can always be surrounded by 8 villagers. So when food is scarce, it is usually wise to make sure that you don't adjacent the sheep. RobbyG brings both of his scouts in here, and is going to be able to final shot his own wolf, which is a denial of 10 gold to the Rus player, which DeMusliM is playing as. And he's double shotting his own deer in order to make sure that there cannot be a shot coming in between from DeMusliM. Always a little mini game in Rus games that both players have to observe, lest you give a lot of food and gold advantage to Rus for free. DeMusliM is sending 3 scouts. He's got at least 3 scouts on the map, and he's looking to final shot this wolf. But it looks like RobbyG got it himself. Well done. He's bringing back the sheep now as well as the wolves. School of Cavalry is in production with 5 villagers, quite a few. Gonna be probably finishing around 350, at which point the villager production time will drop from the usual 20, and it is 18 for French. It will drop to 17 seconds. So for every 18 villagers made, Robby will make 19, something like that. Yeah, so we've got 8 on food, 2 on gold. That's not a lot on gold. He's probably going to send these right back into gold, 7 being the required amount for non-stop night production. I could see that happening here. There's not a large attribution of villagers to wood. As such, I don't think we're going to see a 1, 2, 3 archery range follow-up too early. The total amount of sheep right now is 8. RobbyG already consumed at least 3, so I'd say he got about 11, which is just under half of the total available amount of sheep on the map. Can't usually get as much into Rus because they tend to, they have you required to contest deer and wolves as well, so there's many different interests, and it's quite a multitask heavy early game for both players. Oh, wolves are 25 gold? Okay, not 10 gold. Yeah, right. Sheep are like 5 or 10, and then wolves are 25 and boars are 75. Wait, deer are 10, is it? Sheep 5, deer 10, wolf 25, boar 75. Yeah. In terms of the gold that they give. And I think the bounty points too, right? Okay, let's see what we're getting. I'm just gonna select both the town center and the School of Cavalry so you can see the production. Before the spring patch brings in the global queue, where you can see the production in the top right. If you're watching a replay, you can just select both buildings and, well, it pretty much does the same thing. And we saw a little villager cut. French needs a lot of food. Their faster villager production means they need more food for their villagers. And the knights are food heavy as well. And those produce faster as well because of the special School of Cavalry discount in production time. All in all, it means you need more than 9 on food if you want to keep up production. And he's sending every new villager to wood presently. So there's going to be a lot of cuts in cavalry. And this either works out for him because of his intentions, or he's molding his intentions around his resources. He has decided to go for the chivalry upgrade. This takes 1 minute and also removes the need to spend food on cavalry school for a while. And this is also a tip to my viewers here. If you're looking to... If it looks like you don't have enough food to start knights and you want non-stop knights, you might as well fit in that School of Cavalry upgrade, the chivalry. I do the same thing with Delhi. If I run out of food, that's my time to get the textiles upgrade. As for Delhi, it's free anyway. And I decide, yeah, that's the time I'm going to be doing that. Oh, I didn't know French gets to make textiles in a shorter time as well. It looks like it's matched to the villager time. Interesting. That is interesting. Okay, what is our total unit counts right now? I've got 2 knights with chivalry. Because I've been curious how both Rus and French should play this matchup. So this is interesting to see. Recently got a question, how does Rus play into French? Well, I don't know. I would probably play... I think I've played some Rus against French recently on Highview. A couple of times. Beat some good players with it too. And I went for a fast second town center using the Golden Gate to buy 300 stone with 200 gold. Fast second town center. And would then try to defend with spears and archers. But I also lost to a top 10 guy who just rushed me with rams, knights and archers. Took like 20 minutes and... he used a lot of animation cancel knights to beat spears with knights. But he ended up winning and I couldn't defend. But yeah, sometimes win, sometimes lose. So I did spear, archer, double TC, feudal. Let's see how DeMusliM plays it. We're not looking at his vision to get an idea of the perspective of our French player here. As French is also a civ that I'm wanting to be learning. Knights just trying to poke holes. We see 1 TC for now. We see pro scouts. A lot of scouts here bringing back deer carcasses. And the combined crossfire of the watchtower, the wooden fortress and the town center takes down a knight. He's killed a few villagers, of course. Robby himself is at 30 villagers. I will do a sneak peek and see, hey, 29. That's not good. RobbyG by now, after having killed any villagers and having had bonus production, it should have been maybe 2-3 villagers ahead by now. He did of course have to make a scout from his town center, which Rus doesn't do because they use their hunting cabins for scouts. Nonetheless, those villager downtimes that he had when he didn't have enough food, they've cost him. Another villager goes down, so he's now 2 villagers ahead. And archery range has come out. No, oh yeah, ranged armor has come out as well, so that knights don't take as much damage from the town center. And archers are in production. We have wheelbarrow upgrade finished for that faster movement speed and carrying capacity. And he's just looking to poke more holes in the defenses of DeMusliM. Quick reactions will be required in order to keep him safe from the knights. It's funny, their healing never stopped. This healing only works out of combat, but apparently this knight being attacked by arrows did not trigger their combat status, so the healing continued. Nice to know. Second archery range, absolutely classic opening here from our French player. Siege engineering coming out before steeled arrow upgrades, in fact. So he's gonna make a couple of archers, he's got 3, and he's gonna use those to make a ram. And I think his target will be these houses. Taking down houses can severely cripple the economy of your opponent. Now I don't usually... Hey, 2 sheep. And he should kill the boar too, maybe. I don't usually take a sneak peek at the other guy because I want to actually... I don't peek at guys. I want to see everything from one perspective, but I'm too curious, so I'm actually going to take a look after all. So the Golden Gate is in production, 12 villagers to it. We've got 800 wood right now, so he could make anything. And had he been entirely on top of his macro, I think he would have started his buildings already. Could be archery ranges, barracks, and it is going to be barracks. And this is going to be much slower, all villagers on one barracks, than if he had split them. The first villager is worth like 3 times as much as all the others. Roughly, on average. So this is a pretty slow way of making barracks. He's going to go for spearmen, in fact, while still seeking out additional deer carcasses. Knights and archers killing more villagers, so we have 40 against 34 villagers now. Definitely impactful. And what's interesting is that the archer production that he has done so far has removed the ability for him to make any rams yet. So you might as well have gone the steeled arrow upgrade first, and that's usually what I find. Unless you're looking to make a ram with just your first 3 archers and then you hold production, just get the fighting upgrades first. You would have had more damage on your archers. Nice little bonus. But it looks like the window is closing for Robby in order to deal damage. The longer that DeMusliM spends on tier 3, the more, well, let's say, veteran spearmen there can be, or men-at-arms. I would imagine a combination of men-at-arms and spearmen to be correct here. Spearmen to hold the charge of knights, and men-at-arms to be very armored and tanky and problematic for these archers. Okay, he's going for the houses, definitely later than I expected. I mean, you can have a ram out by like 8-9 minutes in the game. This is 11, so it's a lot slower, but it's a different flow. Those early rams have barely any units to them. Oh, if he doesn't notice this ram dying, could be bad for him. Knights are coming in, villagers, 16 villagers here. One goes down instantly, a second gets culled. There's a third going down, but the ram actually goes down. Wait, what? What took it down? Is it the arrow-slitted tower getting that final shot in after the villagers softened it up with torches? I think that may be it. Archers, knights, no possibility yet to go for castle age yet. A second stables, okay, he's committed. This is Robby saying, I'm never going feudal. I'm either winning or I'm losing here. And I'm not going to play off of Castle Age. I'd be surprised if he goes Castle at all in this game. The Wooden Fortress does what it can. Spears are coming in. Spears, of course, a very cheap filler unit. We're going to take a quick look at the current resources here. DeMusliM has spent his resources fairly big time. He's got a bit of stone, which makes me wonder... What for? Ah, you know what? I think he bought the stone with the Golden Gate in order to place this springald emplacement. This can actually punch through the 30 ranged armor of the rams, doing 30 damage, and that can just kind of help tie things together. There we go with that spearman and men-at-arms army. The spearmen are being targeted down by the archers pretty well. Ranged armor 1 has been upgraded here for DeMusliM, and archers continue to kill spearmen. There's 2 wooden fortresses here. This one is still working on its arrow-slit emplacements, just as those garrisons, and both are targeting down as many archers as possible. The rams are going ham. Villagers are coming in here to bring torch damage on the rams. That's a lot of damage. He surrounded them with his infantry. Oh, the rams are going down. Meantime, there isn't that much army left, though. I think he should keep these fortresses filled, because we don't know. Maybe he wants the resources, feels like he needs the resources. Springald's emplacement and arrow slits are shooting away. And what's the production like for Robby? Knights and archers coming in. He's got fairly large bank. He's also at 50 against 35 economy. So that is a lot of economy difference. Meantime, though, we do have sacred sites being taken with impunity by DeMusliM. And who knows how many relics he has? Well, let's take a look. 1 relic already in production. And if we look at these warrior monks, they're bringing back 2 relics even now. It looks like DeMusliM is stabilizing. The attacks are difficult to deal with, to be sure, but the economy deficit that he has, 15 villagers, is being compensated almost by the sites. Every relic and every site is worth about 2.5 to 3 villagers. So with 3 relics and 2 sites, he's compensating 12.5 villager deficit. That means he still has a worse income per minute, and you can kind of see that, right? But he's getting close. Now that the sites are being taken back, RobbyG tends to have the economic advantage again. But he's still not going for Castle Age. Spreading mills all over the place to get berries and deer where he can with just a minimal farm investment, just to kind of tie things together. He goes with the next ram attack. Archers and knights. 23 archers, 9 knights against 7 scouts that are stealing the deer right from under their noses. 7 deer being stolen right here. A warrior monk coming to fight a knight. I don't want to know how that goes. Warrior monk has the same amount of health, but much less damage, and he can't heal himself. Not a lot of spears left. Is he non-stop producing from these? Yeah. And it looks like he just finished his Spearman veterancy upgrade. Only just now. That's gonna be a big help though. He finally got it. Wow, that took him a long time, didn't it? He's got 1 Golden Gate ticket in order to maybe trade a bit, could sell some wood or buy some food. He's also got a marketplace to do some extra trading. These scouts are coming back with the carcasses. Meanwhile, Warrior Monk is looking to collect another relic that he knows to be here. He's got 3 already. 41 economy against 57. Definitely RobbyG with the superior income again. By a bit. Actually, if you look at it, it has been fairly similar over the last minute. And RobbyG goes in again. You know, I can never play like this. Non-stop feudal all in. It's not my style. I don't know if it's going to work. It looks like he still has the numerical advantage. It's quite amazing because most civs cannot fight into men-at-arms with feudal all the time. Oh, that's a big risk. If that didn't work out, he would have lost the game right then and there. RobbyG actually has enough resources to go Castle Age. Archers are trying to kill the spears. Knights are taking a lot of fire from Springholds emplacement and the town center. There's another conversion going on, but it is noticed. They walk away and they make the guild hall. Archers now getting attacked by men-at-arms. Yeah, it looks like he did manage it. DeMusliM managed to hold on. Spears have been killed by the archers, and he continues to focus down those specifically, as archers have bonus damage into Spearman, and they have much less ranged armor. He's taking them all out. Nice micro there. Villagers spread everywhere. Would have been lovely for DeMusliM to branch off 1 men-at-arms per resource node. Knowing how French players play, that they pretty much feel like they've got the map control, they're the ones ram all-inning. And it's how anyone would play. You tend to skip that outpost, right, in these proxy locations. The safe thing to do, bring 5 villagers, make an outpost, put a mill. When you get attacked, you can put them in the outpost. By small forces, right? But the dominant thing to do when you've got map control is to just put as many villagers as you like in remote locations and gather with impunity. Just 1 men-at-arms would have done a lot, but yeah, you're never sure. Like when you're the defender, you're like, did he really go for that resource node? Can I afford to send away any units at all? It's quite understandable. Guildhall has finished. No veteran knights yet. Would be nice, but he's using them well. Knights, a unique feudal unit available to the French. And those are actually pairing up pretty decently into these men-at-arms. There are some special men-at-arms like Holy Roman Empire, Delhi, even English men-at-arms that have bonus damage, health or something, movement speed on the palace guards for Chinese, but the men-at-arms for Rus are pretty much what you see is what you get. They have no special bonuses. Double Siege Workshop coming out now for RobbyG. He's making Arbaletier, which are going to be great into men-at-arms. They also come out fitted with a special upgrade that can give them 5 melee armor. There is a small bug with this. It says increase by 5, but it's actually implemented as increase to 5. Which means if you have 1, you get +4 to become 5. If you already had 2 melee armor, it becomes +3 to make total 5. So it pretty much just ignores the blacksmith upgrade. But either way, you're gonna have 5 armor, which is more than you could otherwise have. So it's a good upgrade. Very interesting game right now. We got 66 economy against 42. Of course, reaching Castle Age villagers now get made in 16 seconds. And he's barely lost any at all. His siege workshops are going to be able to make mangonels once he gathers enough wood. Mangonels are going to be quite good into these clumps of spearmen and men-at-arms. we take a look at DeMusliM. He has 14 men-at-arms, 7 scouts, 2 warrior monks and 12 spearmen. He went for a second town center in order to try and catch up in economy. He's got all 5 relics. All 5 relics. Incredible amount of gold income from that. 600 per minute from the sacred site and the 5 relics without gathering any gold at all. But he's been pushed off of his farmland, losing numerous villagers. Meanwhile, he's having to fight just to keep this sacred site as well. And no walls, right? No walls at all. This map, Lipany, he could of course do like a wall partition here, and then all the way here, and then he would need another wall here, and then a bit here, and then maybe some vision here, like a hunting cabin or a fortress, a wall here, and then a wall here, and this, and this, and then suddenly we'd be looking at a DeMusliM who can pretty much rule out attacks from the side. But as it stands, knights can run amok in his base with great impunity. You're using all these little gaps in order to reduce mining time, kill villagers, and widen the gap. 44 economy against 72. RobbyG is doing a great job with these knights. And it may look easy, but having played some French myself, it can be pretty easy to accidentally run your knights into a cluster of spearmen and lose them in a stupid way. He's been pretty proactive with them. He's controlling them well, trying to create problems all over the map. So what have we got now? We've got 4 ranges, more arbaletier, mangonels and greaseled axles, the movement speed for siege engines. Keep in mind this is the new patch, so the mangonels in general are slower, 0.75 tiles per second, which is down from something like, I don't know, 0.88 maybe before. So they are quite slow indeed. A ram is coming in, 3 mangonels and that upgrade. His current army is 5 veteran royal knights, 14 archers, not veteran by the way. He doesn't think they're worth upgrading. That's definitely valid. If you have the ability to make a better suited unit like the arbaletier, you may just say, well, those 14 archers, I'm not even going to invest in the upgrade because I'm not looking to make any in the future. You would sooner get Gambeson's upgrade than to upgrade them to veteran archers. But one thing I like to do with such archers, as they're pretty much not super useful filler, doing just 6 damage into men-at-arms that have how much armor? 6, so they're going to do 1 damage a pop. I like to just branch 5 around here, 5 around there, and just poke at these farmlands. Of course, he's got knights for that purpose, but yeah, you could just use archers for that, and it could be a good way to throw them away. So finally those walls are coming in, but not before another knight comes in to distract DeMusliM. This wall's here, this one is not built, he's working on these. It's all a bit later than ideal, but keep in mind, high pressure situations. DeMusliM has a large army, 2 springles, a lot of spears and men-at-arms, but he's gonna have to deal with those mangonels, and 1 springald is not gonna deal with them quickly enough for him not to take a lot of losses already. This wood line has been very harassed. Might have been wise for DeMusliM to focus on another wood patch, as this has been abused pretty much the whole game. And maybe he could have made a decision in the start of the game not to gather from this wood at all, even though it was a bit closer, and go for this one instead. Maybe that would have been easier, but hindsight is 2022. Knights branching off even during the main fight to harass more villagers. We have 82 against 53 economy. Kind of pulling back now, looking to gather more units up again. Knights, arbaletier and springalds coming out now. Looks like he doesn't have the blacksmith upgrade, military academy. I can definitely recommend getting this upgrade fairly often. Basically, it increases the production speed by 25% of buildings, so that if you have 4 or 5 buildings, it's like you have another. He's got 8 production buildings, so this military academy is worth more than adding another structure. It does cost more than another structure. I guess in theory you don't need to make military academy until you have about 8+ unit production facilities, because it works by a percentage and it costs more than even 2 production facilities. This is 350 resources, 2 production facilities generally cost 150 times 2 is 300. But siege workshops cost 300 each, and it works on those as well. So these basically count as 2. when it comes to the actual initial cost. So I'd say it's super worth it now to get that. Looks like RobbyG has gone for... Where is he making it? He's going for Imperial, but where and with what? Where is it? Ah! Whoa! 27 villager, aggressive red palace. Why not? And let me tell you something, this thing slaps. You fill that baby up with a garrison, it can kill anything. It actually shocks me when someone put a red palace in my base once. Let's watch what it does together. I mean, he could have gone for like the school of artillery, but nah. This is how he looks to end it. Let's see what's gonna happen. There we go. Boom. Instantly pops that siege building. Look at it go, dude. The range. The range is deranged. Let me tell you that. It can even kill this wooden fortress. It's absolutely bananas. Look at that. Full with villagers just destroying this base. Mangonels are getting some nice shots in. Bam! DeMusliM gives up. GG. RobbyG takes the victory. Cool. It can destroy a 400 supply army without siege. You speak from experience?